Hi everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. You know who it is. And it is time for our weekly best and worst tracks of the week segment, where I do a tracks roundup of everything that I've heard from this past week that stood out to me. We do these videos in the raw, so we're not going to do a whole lot of edits here. And we are going to start off with the worst tracks of the week, get into the best tracks of the week later as usual. If you want to support this segment, you can hit up our Amazon Associates link down there in the description box. If you live in the US and you click on it, anything you buy off of Amazon, we get kickback from it. Does not add to your overall price. All right, so worst tracks of the week. Let's get into this new Sleigh Bells song. This song and all the other tracks are referenced down there in the description box as well. This track over there, Sleigh Bells, while it is one of the worst tracks of the week, I do kind of think it's one of their better songs. Like, it's not the overly distorted and obnoxious display of pop rock that the Sleigh Bells usually bring to the table. It's kind of got a bit of an electronic pop feel to it. There are moments where it sounded like Lady Gaga. Chris Ott on Twitter had told me that he thinks it sounds a lot like a Joan Jett produced on Fruity Loops, which may be an even more apt description. So yeah, didn't care for that track. ILOVEMAKONNEN, Call Me Badly. ILOVEMAKONNEN, unfortunately, cannot still sing his way out of a paper bag, so just go into this new track expecting that. Zeds Dead, track Too Young, featuring Rivers Cuomo and Pusha T, which is a couple of features on one song that I did not anticipate I would ever hear, did not think would ever exist, but Zeds Dead made it happen. And boy, is it a display, boy, is it a horror. Rivers comes through and sings this sort of wimpy little chorus while Pusha T delivers these verses about this art school girl who likes her boys bad, likes her boys Chief Keef, likes her boys, I guess, being gangsters or whatever. It just seems, I don't know.
The words that I was looking for to describe the story in the lyrics were painfully corny.
Didn't really care for the beat all that much, and just kind of hearing Pusha T and Rivers on the same track just was really preposterous. But I don't know. What are you going to do? Moving on from there, the radio department have a new track out titled We Got Game. This track, the radio department are really changing up their sound here and sort of doing a electronic dance music kind of thing, and it does not do them any justice. And finishing things out, we have Molly Nilsson with Let's Talk About Privileges, which not only has a series of lyrics that sound like they're lifted straight from a Tumblr post, but really the songs like, Greatest Crime is just how bland and, I don't know, personality-less it is. There's like really no fun or flavor to the song. It's just this really awful, breathy, lifeless, comatose synth pop track that, considering the subject matter of the song, you'd think that these points would be getting put a little more bluntly or a little more passionately. But instead, it's pretty much a nap time song. All right, so we're going to move on from there to the songs that I do want to turn you guys onto. I do want to point you guys toward, but maybe they weren't my favorites of the week. I thought they were okay. These are the songs I was kind of indifferent toward. I was just kind of meh on these songs. We have the new Ab Soul track, Huey New, featuring Dash, which I think had some of the better Ab Soul verses that have been released in a while. Really mysterious instrumental on this track, but the Dash feature on the back end of the track really added nothing to the song, in my opinion. The band Car Bomb, progressive metal outfit Car Bomb, they have a new song out titled Gratitude, which do have some cleanly sung vocals on it that I didn't care for too much, but some of the very dizzying and oddly timed riffs on the track were pretty invigorating. We have Joan of Arc with a track called This Must Be Placenta that I'm still utterly confused by. Go into this song not really expecting anything other than to be perplexed. The new Mary J. Blige track, unfortunately, thick of it, I found to be kind of bland. American Football has a new track out, Desire Gets in the Way, which I do think was one of the better singles that they've put out, but it was just not really as emotionally enthralling as the material from the band that came out back in the day. So I'm just kind of wondering what they're going to do with this new record, considering every song thus far just kind of sounds like an easygoing adult contemporary, like, very pleasant on the ears type of rock song. just really isn't doing too much for me. Alicia Keys with the song Blended Family was okay, but the A$AP Rocky feature on the song was pretty lackluster. Hannah Diamond from PC Music fame with Fade Away, new single from her. Unfortunately, this is one of the least quirky and least fun and sort of like melodically sticky songs that have come out of the PC Music camp ever. And I think if they keep dropping tracks like this, Fade Away is exactly what's going to happen to Hannah Diamond and, the rest of the PC Music crew. Hopefully what comes out in the future is a little more bold and exciting. And then to finish things off, we have a track from Weezer, Fake Smiles, and Nervous Laughter, which is one of several tracks, bonus tracks, which are going to be featured on the deluxe version of Weezer's latest record, The White Album, which you guys know I enjoy quite a bit. But this song and I Love the USA and the other additional tracks that are being added to this deluxe version, not really liking any of them. They're all kind of okay. They're sort of mediocre, which, they're still better than like the Red Album. They're still better than Ratitude. They're still better than a great deal of Hurley. Don't get me wrong. So maybe I'm not going to say that you should avoid the deluxe version of this record or anything. But none of it is as catchy, in my opinion, or as stunning as the core material of the White Album thus far. Though still, if you're yet to get that album and this deluxe version crosses your path, why not? So let's get into my favorite tracks of the week over here. Quite a few pop songs made it into my favorite tracks, which I'm happy about. These are not usually artists who make it into my favorite tracks list, but here we go. Bruno Mars with 24 Karat Magic. This is a sweet little piece of electro funk. Takes me back to when I was really enamored with like Chromeo's records, like Business Casual. He really does a lot for this style. The music video is pretty dorky with this awful hat that he's wearing, and he sort of does a DJ Khaled thing, jumping on a jet ski at one point. Ignore that. But the song itself is really fun. My buddy Evan over at the Nerd Writer told me in sort of private that he thinks this is the next Cha-Cha Slide. He could see this song being played at weddings in the future, and grandma is all dancing in unison to this song. Could potentially be the case going down the road. I think the song is really catchy and really awesome. Now, going on from there, Lady Gaga with Million Reasons. This is so good. This is such a good acoustic ballad. I didn't think Lady Gaga could ever sort of do a country tinged acoustic number like this and have it come out this classy and this passionate, but she freaking did it. And definitely more lyrically mature, I think, than her last single, which the lyrics from her last big single were unfortunately, I think, the Achilles heel of the track. There's nothing really about this new song over here that I don't like, and I'm hoping to hear more raw, personal, and kind of intimate material on this new record, which could be the case. So I'm actually really looking forward to this Lady Gaga album, to be honest. Then we have Amber Coffman of Dirty Projectors fame coming through with a new single over here, which is completely lovely. Her virtuous vocals are very nimble and dynamic all over this track, and it's a well-written song too. Wise Blood, which is another track from this project that I have referenced in this series, came out with a new single, Generation Y, which is attached to a video. If you're into some very airy, spacey, and grand and reverb-soaked Baroque pop, you should give this thing a shot because it's a very lovely, very pretty sound. And ending things off with the OCs, the song The Poem. Yes, The Poem, which is from a new album, which is kind of a series of, I guess, afterthoughts from their latest record, A Weird Exits. This song is nowhere near as hard or as heavy or as intense as any cuts off of that record. It's kind of an odd spoken word piece with kind of psychedelic tendencies, but still interesting nonetheless. And those are going to be the songs I'm going to recommend to you guys. Those are all the songs, best worst of the week. Thank you for watching. Again, all these are linked down there in the description, so if you want to hear these songs or sort of find relevant links to these songs, they're all down there below. And appreciate you watching. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. You're the best forever.